Well, it's that time of year again. I'm going on my summer holidays, so there won't be very many podcasts being posted. But to keep you interested, I have got a mini podcast here with the man who started takeout comedy in Hong Kong. Really, such a big influence on everybody in this whole Asian stand-up comedy scene that's taken off over the last 5-10 years. Today, very happy. I managed to pin down Jami Gong. It was a very good wrestling move. No, I managed to find some time to talk to Jami Gong, and he gave me a little bit of his time to tell a bit about how he came all the way from New York to Hong Kong to set up a comedy club in a place where there was no local stand-up comedy. So here we go. We're going to talk to Jami Gong. Of course, to keep my costs down, only the 3 most recent podcasts are listed on Podomatic and on my iTunes. For all the thousands and thousands of episodes that you're going to want to listen to while I'm away on holiday, just go to my website, thebigbenshow.com, and you'll see, if you scroll down, there's loads and loads and loads of episodes of jugglers, clowns, stand-up comedians, belly dancers, mentalists, all kinds. So check that out. We're going to talk to Jami in just a moment, but I want to tell you something. I was at a birthday party, and a little kid, about 3 years old, I was doing the show, and in the audience was a little 3-year-old kid, and at one point he turned around and whacked the kid behind him, gave him a great big punch in the face and knocked the kid over. So of course this is too much, right? I'll allow a little bit of rambunctious behaviour if they're just getting happy and overexcited and hyperactive, but this is violence. So I immediately stopped the show. I said, that's enough, okay? And I have this sign that I hold up, and it says, on the sign it says, naughty corner, 3 minutes. And I held it up, I read it out, naughty corner, 3 minutes. And bless him, the little boy had obviously had this punishment sent out before, by his parents have punished him in this way. So he got up as soon as he saw the sign, and without saying a word, he walked silently to the corner of the stage and stood there looking sort of doleful. It was so funny. He was going to stay there for 3 minutes, so I carried on with the show. I said, well, okay, good enough, you sit down and I'll carry on the show, but don't do that again. Alright, so well, that's it. Let's go and talk to Mr. Jami Gong. Alright, Jami Gong.
Hello, Big Ben.
So let's just get right into it then. We haven't got too long. Tell us about your life story. Where did you come from, and how did you end up starting
from New York City? My mother's from Hong Kong, so I was coming here like 20 times before I moved here, summer of 06. And just saw the potential of opening up a comedy club not only in Hong Kong but in Asia. You know, why not? Who doesn't want to laugh?
Yeah.
So I was doing comedy already since 1989 in New York City.
Any family influence? Any reason you started comedy? How come? Not everybody.
Oh, why I was doing comedy?
Why did you try comedy when you were
in 1989?
Yeah.
Oh, I love laughing. Love watching the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson many years ago.
Yeah.
Just grew up with laughter, and then did it on a dare in 1989 at Syracuse University, and got hooked, and then got a little bit better. Then moved to New York City in 1991, back home basically after graduation. So I was doing a little bit more, but I had a job, and I felt that was just a job in retail, and I felt that was not my calling. And opening a comedy club and bring more laughter here to Asia is my calling.
So you were working in retail and going to the open mics in New York?
Yes.
Ah, right. And
well, not the open mics. I was doing shows.
Doing shows.
Yeah.
Ah. Tell me more. What were you doing in?
Yeah, I was performing at some of the top clubs there: Gotham, Comedy Cellar, Comic Strip.
Oh, cool.
So Caroline's.
See,
I was already performing some of the top clubs over there.
And then I saw you at the One Night Stand Comedy Club in Singapore. Must have been mid late 90s. 90?
No. It was 05.
Was it already in 05? Oh, okay.
That was part of my research. We came here 9 times in 2 years, 05 and 06. And we did 3 shows before we opened up this club, and one of the shows we did was in Singapore with Paul Agata.
Yeah.
So you saw us there, yeah. So we did one night stand over there.
I still got your T-shirt somewhere.
I was still testing out my theory that there should be more comedy in Hong Kong. So that was part of my test.
Yeah.
And it kind of worked. And then now look at Singapore now. There's shows every night in Singapore.
Yeah.
Basically.
Now, do you think that I mean, obviously, you've had a massive influence on the whole region, because I've been in Southeast Asia since 1994. I remember going to an open mic which someone set up in Singapore. It lasted about 2 months and then stopped. I set up one which lasted 2 weeks and then stopped. And so as there was nothing there, how did you make it happen? How did you manage to...
Well, I went in Singapore, you mean?
How do you make it happen anywhere? How do you make it happen in...
Oh, you have to plant the seed. Like we did over here, we planted the seed in Hong Kong, and then I go to different cities to teach stand-up comedy, and Singapore is a perfect example. I went there 5 years ago to teach stand-up comedy, and we started Take Out Comedy Singapore basically for 10 months. Open mic just like this, but since I was not there, we have friends run it. But it died after 10 months. But Umar Rana was my original student.
That's right.
He saw the potential, revamped it, renamed it Comedy Masala, and then voila, 5 years later, he's doing what I had hoped to do. He gets 200 people on a Tuesday night, so kudos to him. So now we work together with Umar, and then and now Singapore too is a thriving comedy scene. There's so much comedy not only in Singapore, Hong Kong, Kuala Lumpur, Beijing, Shanghai, Tokyo. We did shows in Burma last November. So for us, we like to say we set the bar, and now there's growing comedy scenes, local scenes all around Asia, basically because of us. You know, we started it, but we never said we were the first stand-up comedy shows ever in Asia.
No.
There was comedy shows before we came along.
Right.
Basic pros though, right? But no one was focusing on the local scenes and teaching it, building, finding the next Hong Kong Jerry Seinfeld, the next Singapore Billy Connolly. No one was doing that until we came along.
Yeah. And how about the various open mics that they have in places like the Philippines and Beijing? Have these all started in the last 10 years?
Yeah, for sure.
Partly or mainly inspired by you.
I would just say so that we inspired each other. Like I inspired them, but also seeing those scenes grow also inspired me to continue what we're doing also. So you know,
because they don't have a professional club, do they?
No. Not in the Philippines. I don't know. I think Singapore now has a full-time comedy club. Kuala Lumpur, India, Shanghai. But you know, we're the first full-time comedy club in Asia that we started before we even had comedians.
Yeah. So I know how you did it. But what was your business plan? How did you come to a country which you don't even live in? You come from America to Hong Kong, and you set up a club for a comedy club, and there are no professional comedians. So what did you do?
Believe.
Yeah.
Take the risk.
So I think what you did is you set up workshops, didn't you?
Yeah.
And
I had to teach. To have a comedy club, you need comedians. So I had to teach for the first time in my life, fall of 2006.
Yeah.
Before we opened February of 2007. You were my original student. You're the last remaining original comedian from February 2007, our original show. Yeah. So, and we're gonna hit show 1400 in a couple of weeks. Our 9th annual Hong Kong International Comedy Festival is coming up, so it's amazing to see all this develop and progress through 9+ years.
Okay, here's some random questions. Late Night with Conan O'Brien. You've been on Late Night with Conan O'Brien?
Yeah, sure. I met him.
Wow. How about what are like highlights? Can you remember any particular really good shows that you've really enjoyed, that you've done, and also any things that have gone wrong?
I think all our shows have basically been great. Some of our shows that stands out that I think could have been better was I mean in the beginning we had a few hecklers, and then our comics were not experienced enough to handle them.
That's true. Yes.
Cause some awkward situations. Now, if there are some hecklers, now our comedians are more experienced to either ignore them or say something quite witty. So for me, it's amazing to see that develop. With the comedians. But the pros also, all the pro shows are always great. Paul Agata, as we all know, is our most popular comedian. For me, it's also great to see the audience come see a professional comedian like these international guys that we bring over and also for our local comedians to hang out with these guys. Like Nick Griffin is this weekend, first time ever in Asia. He saw the potential, and we were just hanging out yesterday, and with Jim Brewski, and I said, who would have thought for Jim Brewski, for anybody, to come all the way to Hong Kong to get a gig at Gotham Comedy Club in New York City?
That's amazing.
To come all the way out here when you're in the States, instead of just trying to go to New York City and get a gig, but you had to come all the way to Hong Kong to get a gig at Laugh Factory, Gotham, Acme, and Punchline.
I know.
So Jim Brewski won our competition.
That's
for those
right.
people out there who did not know last sharing.
And now he's going to America this summer.
Doing a tour in a couple weeks.
Brilliant. How important is is your website for your business?
So it's really important. It has all the information. We tell everyone to go to the website.
And
it has all the information for all the shows.
Let's promote your website.
Takeoutcomedy.com.
Brilliant. Yeah, go and visit it. It's a really good one. Have you done comedy in different places? In the club here is great. This is a perfect place to do comedy. I've done it here for almost 8 years now. Almost.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
So where have you done comedy? Have you done
Me?
comedy? Yeah. Oh,
I've done it in Burma, like I said earlier. I've done it in Shanghai, Singapore.
How about different kinds of venues? Have you done in hotel ballrooms? Have you done it for private events?
Yeah, well, before I moved to Hong Kong, I was doing all over the USA.
Yeah.
So, weddings, bars, ballrooms, colleges, comedy clubs, obviously. So, outdoors I've done. So yeah.
Outdoors.
So that's why I've done it all. That's why I come over here. I share my experiences with some of you guys, and that's why for me building this room, we basically brought the best practices of all the comedy clubs into this room. This is a store before, so I designed the whole room. For those of you listening who's never been to our club, you should come see our club. We've designed this room just for stand-up comedy, and it's getting there. The reputation is there. This is soon to be one of the best comedy clubs in the world.
Yeah, I think it's a very good club. It's amazing. I've played in different venues, and this is a great venue. Why do you think this venue is so good?
Intimacy, low ceilings.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's no distraction.
Yeah.
So we're lucky that we survived without a bar, without F&B. So that's good and bad. You know, that's why we thank everyone that walks in, because their ticket sales helps pay the rent and helps us keep this going.
Yeah.
So we thank you, audience.
Yeah, because I hear that a lot on other comedians' podcasts about how hard it is when people start serving food and taking orders during the middle of the show. You haven't got that problem.
We have nothing here. No distraction, low ceilings, intimacy. This is a kill room.
Yeah. And the lighting's perfect as well. When you're on stage, the audience is in almost complete darkness for the performer, and you really are. You're the focus of attention when you're on stage here. Great. Let's see some random questions to finish up with. This is one I like, because I do a lot of corporate events, and you must get some corporate events as well. How do you deal with a corporate event? I always like asking people I interview about that.
What do you mean, how do you deal with it?
Right, okay, for example, do you get bookings from... The first thing is, sometimes I get the booking direct from the company whose annual dinner it is. Sometimes I get a booking from an inquiry from an event company.
Those,
yeah. And say they want a stand-up comedian, and you're there on the night and you're doing the show. Do you request that your act happens when they're not serving food?
Yes,
things like that. Yeah.
You for those corporate events, 10 to 12 minutes is efficient. Sometimes they ask for half an hour, 45 minutes.
Yes.
Sorry, ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah.
10 to 12 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes is good enough. I say 10 to 15 minutes because if it's not going well, you kill it at 10. If it's going well, then you do 15. That's it. Remember, you're not the main reason why they're there.
Yes.
And that's why you tell them also minimal distractions, nothing is served. Hopefully, you do it kind of after dinner. A little bit, like, because that's when you don't want to serve, you don't perform before dinner because they're starving, right?
Yeah.
And also, this is very important. Remember, you're the only comedian there.
Yeah.
There is no opening act. It's just you. So the host, first of all, it cannot be a surprise. You cannot. The people have to know that it's okay for them to laugh.
Yeah.
And which means that the host, which usually you have to really babysit them and tell them what to do, have to really get everybody quiet. Make sure that they know a stand-up comedian's coming up.
Yeah.
That get ready to laugh, get them excited and enthusiastic to see you, pump them up for you, and get your introduction right.
Yeah, yeah.
And don't say, and we heard, hey guys, hey, now it's for comedy. Hey, come up here. Oh, come up here, funny guy. Come on, you can do it. Come up here.
Yes,
And that's
yes.
the worst introduction.
Yeah, but the
So-
worst is if you've got that the host isn't.
And the host usually don't care because they don't know, they don't realize, and they don't know how important it is to introduce
Yeah.
it that way.
Yeah, I mean sometimes the host isn't even isn't a professional MC. The host might be someone from the actual company itself
Yeah,
who's just been who's just volunteered to announce stuff.
Which basically, you need to write your introduction on a piece of paper and you give it to them and you tell them, and you might be hard, but you have to tell them, just read this.
Yeah. And how about the lighting? I say I've done shows and sometimes the whole room is almost as bright as daylight, and I try.
You have to tell them that you need
make it.
Well, before you even perform, when they ask you your requirements, stage lights, mic, a bar stool, hopefully, and those are the requirements.
Yeah.
If you know, we've had comedians that done birthday parties, no stage, no nothing, no microphone, just yell out loud. But listen, the bottom line is, if they're paying a lot of money, it's up to you to see if that gig is worth it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of hell gigs out there, and a lot of people who don't want to pay you, and if it's not worth it, I've done them all, so that's why. If you haven't done it all, you might want to do like a gig that is not the best, doesn't have the best setup. But you know what? If they pay decently, do it for the experience.
Yeah.
Then you really appreciate what we have in this room.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So, I've done them all. That's why I don't do any more.
Do you ever turn it down because you just think the setting is completely wrong?
I just turned one down last week. I get emails from venues that, hey, can we do a weekly show, a monthly show at our venue? So okay, so if I don't know the venue, I do a site visit.
Yeah.
And in Hong Kong, a lot of venues here are, almost every venue is not even made for a comedy show. That's why I do a site visit. I tell them right away, I don't care how much money you're paying us, the show here is gonna suck.
Yeah. Okay, here's a good one.
So I visited a venue just last week, and I said, we ain't gonna do no shows here. It was horrible.
Yeah, you have to. Going back to your life or career, what are the any turning points, any really key moments that changed?
9/11.
Really? That was a big thing for you?
I saw the whole thing in Chinatown. That woke me up. That made me realize that, you know what, I need to quit retail and do more comedy. So Take Out Comedy actually started to.
So you were
Take Out Comedy started
in New York.
Yeah, Take Out Comedy started to in Chinatown to revitalize the nightlife in Chinatown. It's on my website. So
Weren't you a tour guide?
Yeah.
For a while.
Carried the Olympic torch, so we did so much to help out Chinatown. That's where Take Out Comedy is born, in Chinatown, New York City. Then we grew nationally, internationally. Now we're here.
Okay. If you're doing a 20-minute set, or what's your favorite length of set if you were doing a set? And often you do hosting now, but if you were doing a set, what's your favorite length? Say you're at a corporate event and they want, is it your
corporate fest 10 to 15 minutes?
Okay.
That's good.
And how would you structure it? Would you
you clean, right? You do some research on the company a little bit.
Yeah.
And for me, I like to see every show, no matter what, come early and see who's sitting near the front, because usually these corporate events, they all know each other, obviously, right? And just like when you do charity shows where a lot of them know each other, that type of audience, you like to do some crowd work.
Yeah.
Talk to the CEO, because then all the other workers will love it, because how often do they see the CEO make fun of?
Yeah.
Be made fun of.
Yeah.
Not offensively, but you can always ask them, like, hey, Billy, you've been the CEO of this company for so long, we all want to know, but these guys are afraid to ask, but what do you do for fun?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Put them on the spot a little bit, right? Everybody, because they all then will be curious, and then they'll also be on your side. But those type of situations, you have to, again, read the room and make adjustments and see what works and what doesn't work, because your job up there is also to entertain as well as make them laugh.
All right, and here to close off are the random questions. Here we go. Are you a celebrity in Hong Kong? Are you famous?
I don't think so, no.
Not at all. No. You're sort of you're an underground famous figure amongst a certain circle.
If you say so.
Next question. Do you get stage fright?
I still get nervous.
Yeah.
So that's what we do is it's so hard. I still get nervous, but like I've done this for so long that I hide my nervousness well.
Yeah. Do you ever get propositioned after a show? Do people think you're sexy because you're such a...
Well, before when I was single, now.
Oh yeah, your wife might listen to this. Okay, let's move on. What's your you're self-employed. Is it a lonely life?
You know what? Yes and no. I mean, no one realizes what it takes behind the scenes to make this happen. So I do everything. I'm at my office. I work every day. Emails, Facebook, just to promote the shows. People don't realize I also do the ticketing for this show.
Wow.
But then I love it. But then showtime comes is when we meet so many people.
Yeah,
so I'm like what I do is kind of like the extremes. I'm by myself working, but then when the shows comes, as you know, we meet so many people who do the club.
That's true. So your daily routine is very, very busy. You spend Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday doing
set the club. I mop, buy water for the club, all these things. We do the. I have to do everything to keep the costs down.
All the posters, the media, everything. You've got to sort this all out.
I do other stuff.
And on Friday and Saturday, you're here doing organising the shows.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, busy man. So Jamie, what do you think are your? Do you have any greatest strengths or weaknesses?
I think my strength is that I'm very fair to everyone. I try to help the comedians who want to be helped.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Weakness. I can't.
No weaknesses. He's amazing.
I have no weaknesses.
You're a legend. And as a legend who's changed the whole of Southeast Asia and brought comedy here.
I would say Asia.
Sorry?
I would say Asia.
The whole of Asia. Oh, sorry, I'm putting you down. Yeah, the whole of Asia, if not the universe. How has the industry and the market and the scene changed in the last 8 to 9 years?
Oh, it's changed tremendously. We've actually... I'm a comedian myself, people don't realize, to happen to run a comedy club. That's like, for me, bringing more laughter in people's lives. We are prolonging people's lives who come see us.
Yeah.
That's why I want people to realize the power of laughter. And also, over here, before we came along, people never thought about hiring comedians or having a comedian as an option for a dinner party.
Yes.
Now, we are springboarding people's careers.
Yeah,
we are
giving like Vivek
Mavobani, Jim Brewski, our
Brewski.
competition, meeting all these comedians, like I said, performing at all these clubs, and just now kick-starting people's careers because of this little tiny comedy club.
Amazing. And how do you see the future? Are you going to be able to, are you going to carry on doing this forever?
I hope so.
Brilliant.
I hope so. As long as people come support us, that's why we thank you for supporting us. We thank the comedians for just doing what they're doing. We love it. And last but not least, certainly again, we thank everyone that just buys a ticket.
Jami Gong,
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Big Ben.
So that's Jami Gong, and I will be back in a few weeks' time with some more episodes. I'm off on my holidays, so take care. Have a great summer. Take care. Goodbye.